One of my intellectual heroes is W.E.B. Du Bois, and one of his crowning achievements is The Souls of Black Folk, which is a top shelf piece of American literature. My name is Drew. I am a literary fiction writer, independently published, and outside of that, I am a special ed English teacher in the state of Florida. This channel is pretty lo-fi. This is sort of my meanderings on books, on writing, on teaching, and on culture and philosophy. And so this book fits perfectly into that strand. This is a collection of pieces by Du Bois on society, on culture, on race, on spirituality, on consciousness, on social perception, all bound up into this beautifully written collection. I wanted to read a piece or part of a piece from the collection called On the Wings of Atalanta, where Du Bois is discussing the city of Atlanta, Georgia, as it breaks into the 1900s, as it becomes this more modern metropolitan hub of the South. It says, south of the north, yet north of the south, lies the city of 100 hills, peering out from the shadow of the past into the promise of the future. I have seen her in the morning, when the first blush of day had half roused her. She lay gray and still on the crimson soil of Georgia, and then the blue smoke began to curl from her chimneys. The tinkle of bell and scream of whistle broke the silence. The rattle and roar of busy life slowly gathered and swelled, until the seething whirl of the city seemed a strange thing in a sleepy land. Once, they say, even Atlanta slept dull and drowsy at the foothills of the Allegheny, until the iron baptism of war awakened her with its sullen waters, aroused and maddened her, and left her listening to the sea. The sea cried to the hills, and the hills answered the sea, till the city rose like a widow and cast away her weeds, and toiled for her daily bread, toiled steadily, toiled cunningly, perhaps with some bitterness, with a touch of reclame, and yet with real earnestness and real sweat. It is a hard thing to live haunted by the ghost of an untrue dream, to see the wide vision of an empire fade into real ashes and dirt, to feel the pang of the conquered, and yet know that with all the bad that fell on one black day, something was vanquished that deserved to live, something killed that injustice had not dared to die. To know that with the right had that triumphed something of wrong, something sordid and mean, something less than the broadest and best. All this is bitter hard, and many a man and city and people have found it excuse for sulking and brooding and listless waiting. Such are not men of the sturdier make. They of Atlanta turned resolutely towards the future, and that future held aloft vistas of purple and gold. Atlanta, queen of the cotton kingdom. Atlanta, gateway to the land of the sun. Atlanta, the new Lechesis, spinner of web and woof from the world. So the city crowned her 100 hills with factories, and stored her shops with cunning handiwork, and stretched long iron ways to greet the busy Mercury in his coming. And the nation talked of her striving. Of course, he's talking about the Civil War, where Atlanta, which had been so long part of the South, part of the small South, had been destroyed, burned to the ground by Union forces. And from that rebirth came what is now today seen sort of as the black capital of America, a place where black voices are heard, where black culture is cultivated, and where black individuals can seek a higher and brighter way through its universities, through its industry, through its culture. So this book is riddled with beautiful stuff like that. Du Bois had a real talent for prose, and he wrote fiction too, which is fantastic. So that is The Souls of Black Folk by W.E.B. Du Bois.